If you run an e-commerce store and you're struggling to get traffic to your website without spending a fortune on ads, this simple checklist is going to help you rank higher on Google, drive more traffic, and more importantly, make you more revenue. It's a checklist I've used to help over 35 businesses grow with search engine marketing, and it's what I'm using at my SEO studio to help boost Shopify brands' revenue. My name's Zach Baldwin, founder of ZB SEO, and over the past 3 years of doing SEO, I've found out that majority of the noise and fluff out there is simply that. It's fluff. SEO can be broken down into 3 main pillars: technical SEO, on-page SEO, and off-page SEO. And in this video, I'm going to break those down with a simple checklist so you can grow your Shopify brand's revenue today. So in this video, I'm going to break down these 3 pillars and explain how you can use them to your advantage to help you grow your Shopify brand's revenue in 2025. And the first one is technical SEO. Now, when I started in marketing, I remember there was an SEO agency that the business I was working for had hired, and they were getting paid like $5,000 a month, and they seemed to do a lot of technical updates. Now, I never understood what they did then, and honestly, I still don't. Having your website's technical aspects like sound is important, but I think there's a lot of technical issues that SEO agencies will sell you on, which are just a waste of time, and especially for an e-commerce store. Because Shopify is just so well built that a lot of these issues that agencies are selling either don't matter to you because your site's too small, or it's literally just a cash grab for them. So making your website 1 second faster in its load time is not going to increase your revenue that much, if at all. So when talking about technical SEO, I like to focus on these things. First, your robots.txt file. Now, you can fix a lot of your issues from here. This is where you tell Google what pages to crawl and which ones to index. And by removing pages from your SERPs, you can free up your crawl budget on your website, and Google can know more about the important pages or read the important pages more. So this basically means that we tell Google not to worry about pages that don't matter, like say page 2 or 3 of your collections, your tagged pages and filter pages, things like that. And we tell them to focus on pages that do matter, which are your products and your collection pages, because that's where the money is made. Now, the second thing I focus on is broken links. This is a super easy fix and one that actually makes a difference. So just use a free tool like Screaming Frog, the free version, or Ahrefs if you can pay for it, to find all your broken links, fix them, set up redirects to the right pages, and don't just be lazy and set them to your homepage. And then by doing this, you ensure that Google can crawl your site better and the authority can be passed around through these links and not just get stuck at a dead end. Because if you have Google crawl your website and it goes to a broken link, it ends up on a 404 page, it's a negative kind of look on your website. It doesn't help. Next thing is schema markup or structured data. Now, this one is less important from a ranking standpoint, but it does help your site stand out in search results, which will help you get a better click-through rate. So having product ratings, price, sizing, and other information like that implemented on your products is going to help them stand out in those search results. And finally is code structure. Now, this is something I see a lot with Shopify sites. The code structure can sometimes cause small issues, and this is just something that's native to Shopify in different areas. So things like extra hidden tags, heading tags, you can have multiple H1s or unnecessary snippets of code that make it harder for Google to read your page. So I like to use a tool called Detailed to check headings quickly and easily, which often let me know if there's excessive heading tags that may not be visible on the page, but they are in the code. And so then from there, where you can go and fix them in Shopify. So by doing these few things, you eliminate probably 95% of the technical issues that are actually going to hold you back from your Shopify store making money. And all of this won't take longer than a couple of hours, depending on the size of your site. And then you can move on to things that actually matter and actually will make you more money, which leads us to the second pillar, on-page SEO. Now, on-page SEO has the potential to dramatically increase your exposure in Google and drive thousands in sale for your brand. Now, our goal with on-page SEO is to set up each page to have the best chance to rank for its own specific target keyword, and then set up more pages so you have more exposure in Google and ranking for more keywords. So setting up your product and collection pages to have the best chance to rank is actually relatively easy. So I'm surprised how many brands I was talking to that still don't do this, but all you need to do is follow this simple checklist. The basic layout of your collection page should be main heading, short intro text, your product grid, a longer descriptive text, FAQs, and reviews. And then for product pages, heading, short description, product images, other information like details, sizing, shipping, brand notes, things like that. Then a longer descriptive text with maybe your product story or origin or some information about the product, and also some reviews as well. So that's the layout. Then with both of these, you want to make sure that you put your target keyword in the following locations: the URL slug, the main heading, which is your H1, the meta title and description, the first sentence of your page, the image alt text, and also a few more times naturally throughout the content with kind of keyword variations. So by setting up your pages like this and having more content and placing your keyword in those spots, you make Google's job easy to understand what each page is about, meaning they are more likely to show this page in the SERPs. Now that we've set up each page correctly, it's time to make more pages. To make more money in SEO, blogs are going to help you increase your topical authority, maybe drive some traffic and potentially some sales, but they aren't going to make you rich. However, making more collection pages will. So what you want to do is do some keyword research to understand what your customers are searching for, and from there, create different collections based on the results. So for example, having one collection for hoodies is just not going to cut it in e-commerce. You want to create maybe colored-based collections, style-based collections, or event-based collections, and all of a sudden that one collection page that had all your hoodies could be 50 different collections for gray hoodies, blue hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and so forth, all bringing in hundreds of thousands of customers to your site every single month. Now that leads us to the final pillar, which is off-page SEO. And finally, off-page SEO is about building your website's authority. Having the best content out there means nothing if no other sites reference it. It's basically online word of mouth, and it matters tremendously with SEO. So there are heaps of different backlinks that you can get, or different ways to get backlinks, but a lot of them aren't as effective as others. So if I was working in a store, the main type of backlinks that I like to focus on are link insertions and digital PR. So you'll probably hear everyone always talks about guest posting because it's probably the easiest way to get links. And a lot of SEO and link building agencies use them because it looks good on the books. This is what that agency used to do for us when I worked at that company before. They'll say, oh, we got you 10 this month, 5 of them were guest posts, but none of them actually do anything for your authority because these guest posts get no traffic, and so therefore it's not actually passing on any kind of link juice, basically. But with guest posts, you often pay a site to publish content on their site, and then within that content, you have a link or two back to your website. Hence, hey, look, you got some links. But this requires manpower to write the content and also reach out to the sites, and it also requires the content to be indexed and have traffic, and also potentially backlinks to that page to get any results. And so this is why it costs a lot of money, and why when you often pay traditional SEO agencies, you pay a lot, but you don't actually get much in return. So with link insertions, you find pages that are already ranking and ideally have traffic, and then you reach out to them and you ask them to put a link to your website within their content, which then gains you a backlink from that site, and that page is actually getting traffic, so it's going to actually benefit you. Now this comes at a cost. Quite often, no one's just going to link to you out of the kindness of their heart. And, there'll be plenty of old school SEOs that will say you shouldn't pay for links. Everyone does. You need to do it. Otherwise you're going to get left behind. And so this is just better for everyone with link insertions as well, because the owner doesn't have to write more content. They can just simply place your link within their content. And then for you, you don't have to write new content. You just ask, give them some money. Bob's your uncle. And it's often, for some reason, cheaper than guest posts, even though they are worth way more. Now, finally, is digital PR. Now, digital PR is where you pitch your content to sites and have it published on a bunch of high authority sites. It does cost quite a bit of money, so it's not exactly possible for smaller sites with low budgets. I've seen that a lot with the sites that I've worked with. There's often smaller sites so far. And so without the money, you can't really, pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get these kind of PR exposure. But reactive PR is where you can gain links from these high authority sites, these new sites or high DR sites that are looking for experts or suggestions to use within their content. And so this is where a journalist says, hey, I'm writing a piece of content on X. I'm looking for this type of person to give me some, expert opinions. You then pitch that, your opinion, and you get a link out of it basically for free. So some good sites is featured.com, Quoted, or SourceBottle, and the ones I currently use. To find different high DR sites, they'll put a pitch out there, reply to them, so you can get lucky and get a link on some of those sites, because they're looking for experts, and then you can gain those links for free if you pitch them right. Now, there are plenty of other methods for gaining links, but these are the ones that I'm currently using, as I find them the most cost effective and also relatively scalable, at least with link insertions. And also I find that they just have the best of effects for your SEO. So there you have it. That's your ultimate SEO Shopify checklist. By focusing on these 3 pillars of SEO, you're setting your store up for long-term success. So if you're ready to take your Shopify store to the next level, but you don't have all the time to do everything that we just talked about, my SEO studio, ZB SEO, works with 6, 7, and 8-figure Shopify brands, helping them grow their SEO. So visit zbseo.com.au for more information if you want to grow your revenue with SEO. Otherwise, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.